Subject Social Studies. Class 7. Lesson Plan, History. Lesson for the Mughal Empire. Q1. Who was the author of Akbarnama and Ain Akbari? Ans. Abul Fazla. Q2. At what age did Akbar become the emperor of the Mughal Empire? Ans. At the age of 13. Q3. Who was the regent of Akbar? Ans. Bahram Khan. Q4. Who defeated the Sultan of Delhi, Ibrahim Lodi, and where? Ans. Babur in the Battle of Panipat in 1526. Q5. Who were defeated in the Battle of Chanderi by Babur? Ans. Rajputs. Q6. What was Jagir? Ans. Mansabdars received their salaries as revenue assignments called Jagirs. Q7. What forced Humayun to flee to Iran? Ans. Sher Khan defeated Humayun at Choisa, 1539, and Kannauj, 1540, forcing him to flee to Iran. Q8. Who was Genghis Khan? Ans. Genghis Khan was the ruler of the Mongol tribes, China and Central Asia. He died in 1227. Q9. Who was Jahangir's mother? Ans. She was a Kushwaha princess, daughter of the Rajput ruler of Amba, modern-day Jaipur. Q10. Who was Shah Jahan's mother? Ans. She was a Rathore princess, daughter of the Rajput ruler of Marwar, Jodhpur. Q11. What is the rule of primogeniture? Ans. In law, primogeniture is the rule of inheritance whereby father's estate descends to the eldest son. Q12. When did Mehrunisha receive the title Nur Jahan? Ans. Mehrunisha married the Emperor Jahangir in 1611 and received the title Nur Jahan. Q13. What was the Mughal tradition of succession? Ans. They followed the Mughal and Timurid custom of coparcenary inheritance, or a division of the inheritance amongst all the sons. Q14. Who was Babur? Ans. Babur, the first Mughal emperor, 1526-1530, succeeded to the throne of Fergana in 1494 when he was only 12 years old. Q15. What was known as Zabt? Ans. Each province was divided into revenue circles with its own schedule of revenue rates for individual crops. This revenue system was known as Zabt. Q16. What was the name that Prince Khurram assumed after he ascended the throne? Ans. After the death of Jahangir, Prince Khurram ascended to the throne in 1627 and was named Shah Jahan. Q17. Who was victorious in the conflict over succession amongst the Shah Jahan's sons? Ans. Aurangzeb was victorious and his 3 brothers, including Dera Shikoh, were killed. Q18. What was Zat? Ans. Rank and salary were determined by a numerical value called Zat. The higher the Zat, the more prestigious was the noble's position in court and the larger his salary. Q19. What was the role of the Zemindar in Mughal administration? Ans. They collected tax from peasants. They acted as intermediaries between peasants and the ruler. In some areas the Zemindars exercised a great deal of power. Q20. Explain the term dogma and bigot. Ans. Dogma, a statement or an interpretation declared as authoritative with the expectation that it would be followed without question. Bigot, an individual who is intolerant of another person's religious beliefs or culture. Q21. Aurangzeb insulted Shivaji when he came to accept Mughal authority. What was the consequence of this insult? Ans. As a result of this, Shivaji escaped from Agra, declared himself an independent king and resumed his campaigns against the Mughals. Q22. What helped the Mughals to extend their influence over many kings and chieftains? Ans. The careful balance between defeating but not humiliating their opponents enabled the Mughals to extend their influence over many kings and chieftains. Q23. What do you mean by the term Mansabdar? Or, what do you know about Mansabdari system? Ans. The term Mansabdar refers to an individual who holds a mansab, meaning a position or rank. It was a grading system used by the Mughals to fix 1. Rank, 2. Salary and 3. Military responsibilities. Q24. What were the military responsibilities of Mansabdars? Ans. The Mansabdar's military responsibilities required him to maintain a specified number of Sawar or cavalrymen. The Mansabdar brought his cavalrymen for review, got them registered, their horses branded and then received money to pay them as salary. Q24. What were the main features of Salai-Kul? Or, write short notes on Akbar's religious policy. Ans. Akbar introduced the idea of Salai-Kul or universal peace. Its main features were: This idea of tolerance did not discriminate between people of different religions in his realm. 2. Instead it focused on a system of ethics, honesty, justice and peace that was universally applicable. Q25. Write about the Mughal relations with other rulers. Ans. Mughal rulers campaigned constantly against rulers who refused to accept their authority. But as the Mughals became powerful, many other rulers also joined them voluntarily. The Rajputs are a good example of this. Many of them married their daughters into Mughal families and received high positions. But many resisted as well. The Sisodia Rajputs refused to accept Mughal authority for a long time. Once defeated, however, they were honorably treated by the Mughals, given their lands, Watan, back as assignments, Watan Jagir. The careful balance between defeating but not humiliating their opponents enabled the Mughals to extend their influence over many kings and chieftains. Q26. Why did the peasantry suffer tremendously in the last years of Aurangzeb's reign? Ans. In Akbar's reign these Jagirs were carefully assessed so that their revenues were roughly equal to the salary of the Mansabdar. By Aurangzeb's reign this was no longer the case and the actual revenue collected was often less than the granted sum. There was also a huge increase in the number of Mansabdars, which meant a long wait before they received a Jagir. These and other factors created a shortage in the number of Jagirs. As a result, many Jagirdars tried to extract as much revenue as possible while they had a Jagir. Aurangzeb was unable to control these developments in the last years of his reign and the peasantry therefore suffered tremendously.